You know, we always blame genetics or stress, but what if the real reason you're seeing more hair in the drain is actually on your dinner plate? That's what we're digging into today. The pretty shocking link between what you eat and the health of your hair.
I mean, does this hit close to home? 1 minute, everything's fine. You're just living your life, not thinking twice about your hair. And then, bam, all of a sudden, you're seeing it everywhere, on your pillow, in the shower. It can be seriously jarring, right?
So, okay, if it's not just your genes or another birthday, what's this thing that's hiding in plain sight? Well, the answer is something most of us don't even think about, but it's also something we have a ton of control over, literally every single day.
All right, let's pull back the curtain and meet our main suspect. We're talking about the modern diet, specifically what people call the standard American diet. And this really nails it. It's not about pointing a finger at one bad food, like a donut or something. No, it's the whole pattern of eating. A diet that's just packed with processed stuff, sugars and fats, and at the same time, it's missing all those tiny but super important micronutrients that our bodies, and yeah, our hair, are just crying out for.
And if we break it down even more, you've basically got the four horsemen of this hair apocalypse right here. Processed foods, all those saturated and trans fats, tons of sugar and simple carbs. Each one of these is like a domino in a chain reaction that, well, it ends right at your hair follicles.
Okay, so how does this actually work? How does a cheeseburger and fries translate to hair loss? Well, think of it like your hair is under attack, on two separate fronts. It's a double whammy of what you're missing and what you're getting way too much of. And this right here, this is the perfect way to picture that battle. On one side, you've got your hair follicles basically starving, begging for the raw materials they need to build strong hair. And on the other side, they're getting flooded with stuff that starts a really nasty hormonal chain reaction.
So let's tackle that first front, the stuff you're missing. Imagine your hair is a skyscraper. The main building material, the steel beams, that's protein, keratin. But you can't build a skyscraper with just steel. You need a whole crew of workers, right? That's your vitamins and minerals. So when your diet is low on key things like iron, for example, it's like sending the construction crew home. The building site goes quiet and nothing gets built.
Okay, so not giving your hair the right building blocks is one major problem, but that's only half the story. Now let's flip the coin and look at what happens when you're overloading your system with the wrong kind of fuel. This is where things get really interesting with hormones. It really is a chain reaction, just like you see here. Let me walk you through it. So, step 1. You eat something high in sugar or simple carbs. Think white bread, soda, that kind of thing. Step 2. Your blood sugar shoots way up. Naturally, your body freaks out a little and releases a ton of insulin to deal with it. Now here's the kicker, step 3. Those big insulin spikes can also tell your body to produce more androgens. Those are male hormones. And step 4, for a lot of people, one of those androgens, DHT, is like kryptonite for hair follicles. It's a direct trigger for thinning. And listen, it's not just about the sugar. We can't let it take all the blame. Those saturated and trans fats you find in tons of processed foods, they're in on it too. They help create that same hostile hormonal environment. It's a real team effort, unfortunately. So we've looked at both sides of the coin, right? Not getting enough of the good stuff and getting way too much of the bad stuff. So what's the bottom line here? What's the big takeaway? It's actually pretty simple when you boil it all down.
Here it is. The single most important thing to remember is that what you put on your plate has a massive, direct effect on the hair that grows out of your head. We think of food as being about weight or energy, but it's so much more. It's literally the raw material for your entire body. And once you really get that, it's a little scary, but it's also incredibly empowering.
And that brings us to the final question, the one I want to leave you with. Look, genetics are always going to be part of the equation. We know that. But what if the best tool you have to support your hair health isn't some expensive product you buy at the store, but is actually waiting for you in your own kitchen?